My employees can thrive and my business can grow. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Live and local.
Kfi Am 640.
An iHeart radio station.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart radio app. Well, rockets have been fired near the airport in Kabul. Let's get the latest now from ABC's Jordana Miller. Jordana, good morning. I think a lot of us saw the, pictures of black smoke billowing up from outside the airport in Kabul this morning. So we are the drawdown is near. I mean, we're just hours away from the U.S. withdrawal.
We are. We have about a little more than 30 hours, and we're seeing that ISIS-K is continuing to attempt to carry out attacks on American forces there. These rocket attack early this morning apparently intended for the airport, but falling short of its target and hitting a residential area about 2 miles from the airport. We're still not sure if there are injuries. But this has been a common tactic of militant groups, and particularly of ISIS-K, and it follows what the U.S. military says was a attempted suicide or car bombing attack on Sunday, which in what the U.S. calls a defensive strike, they took out with drones, setting this car on fire and killing what were suspected ISIS-K suicide bombers inside, heading for the airport.
And there was a second explosion after, I guess, that we bombed the car, and then there was a second significant secondary explosion. What was that?
Right, so the secondary explosion indicates that aside from the initial explosives that the American forces used, it detonated other explosives that were in this car. Now, we're not sure if those were suicide belts that these terrorists were wearing, or whether there were, tons or a significant amount of explosives in the car, and they were going to detonate the car. But it indicates that there were explosives already in this car. Here, in Israel, when the Israelis go after targets, either in, sometimes in the Gaza Strip, or when they are trying to take out, weapons caches that are in Syria, backed by the Iranians, we often hear of secondary explosions, meaning there were, a supply or, a huge amount of explosions that end up going off after the initial explosion.
So the hope is that the vehicle that they hit then, that they were able to destroy a number of explosives, maybe that we didn't even know were there then.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
great.
I mean, this is basically to take out the militants and take out whatever armed weapons they had in the car.
Do we have any idea, it's because we're just hours away from this withdrawal, as we mentioned, do we have any idea how many U.S. troops or how many U.S. citizens or Afghan allies we have left to get out of Afghanistan before the deadline hits?
Well, we know that there are about 300 American civilians still in Afghanistan. The State Department says they have the capability to take them out. We are seeing those cargo airlifts or flights happening, multiple, at least 2 an hour. Earlier this morning, it was 3 an hour, taking off, taking, Afghan allies and, more troops out of Afghanistan. We also know that the U.S. military is intentionally setting on fire some military we could say equipment that they will not be able to take with them when we leave tomorrow. So the window is closing. I mean, this is going to be the most desperate and dangerous next 30 hours or so, because this is it. I mean, even though the Biden administration put out a statement yesterday that, along with almost 100 other countries, the world is going to hold the Taliban to its promise that people with papers can get out of Afghanistan after we leave, it's entirely unclear if that will really happen, if the Taliban will keep their word. And even if they do, there are so many logistical and security issues. The Taliban have to run the airport. They have to, organize commercial flights. Are people going to be flying into Kabul given the security risks? Will these people with papers actually be able to get out? We have to look at Afghanistan outside of Kabul and see that the Taliban are already beginning to kill people who they believe, quote unquote, collaborated with the Americans. They may be putting on a face right now to the West, but it's entirely unclear what will actually happen when we leave.
All right, a scary next few hours and then weeks after that for anybody who is left. Jordana, thank you so much for the update.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Talk to you again soon. ABC's Jordana Miller with the update there. And if and let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's pray. Whatever you do it. That I don't have to break in this morning with breaking news on Afghanistan. No. Let's just pray that does not happen. All right, let's get back to some of these stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. U.S. military planes are flying food, tarps, and other emergency supplies to southern Haiti as part of efforts to help people hit hardest by the big earthquake and hurricane that hit the island nation earlier this month. Remember, it was a 7.2? And what's crazy about this to me is, normally, from a news perspective, a 7.2 earthquake, followed by the aid and the response and the follow-up stories, I guess, would have been in the headlines for days, or at least weeks. And I'm sure a lot of you in your car are going, oh, that's right, remember that earthquake in Haiti? That's how already, I guess on the other side of the fold, you could say, that this story has become. The U.S. Agency for International Development says the $32 million relief effort is focused on getting help to people, mainly in rural and mountain communities where landslides have destroyed homes and farms. Well, a swimmer from Inglewood has won bronze in the men's 50-meter freestyle. In the classification at the Tokyo Olympics, Jamal Hill touched a personal best time of 25.19 seconds. The U.S. is currently third in the medal count with 17 gold and 46 overall. China leads with 54 golds. Great Britain is second with 25 gold medals. A group of motorcyclists is doing a cross-country ride from L.A. to New York to honor the memory of New York City firefighters who died in the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001. Riders from the Firehogs Motorcycle Club started out from the L.A. Fire Department's training center in Elysian Park. 20 years. It's hard to believe it's 20 years. All right, I read this story last night out of Orange County, and this was on Fox LA's website. Let me just give you the headline. California teacher boasts not having American flag, tells students pledge allegiance to gay pride flag. Now let me get you the story. So there's a teacher who is being investigated after she posted a video admitting that she encouraged her students to pledge allegiance to a gay pride flag after she removed the American flag from her classroom. Her name is Kristen Pitson of Newport Mesa School in Orange County. And she said in a video on social media, okay, so during third period, we have announcements, and they do the Pledge of Allegiance. I always tell my class, stand if you feel like it. Don't stand if you feel like it. Say the words if you want. You don't have to say the words. So my class decided to stand, but not say the words. Totally fine, she continues in this video. Except for the fact that my room does not have a flag, she explained. And that she went on to explain that she removed the flag during the pandemic and whispers to the camera, because it made me uncomfortable. She went on to say one of her students asked where they were supposed to look during the Pledge of Allegiance since there's no American flag in the classroom. She said, in the meantime, I tell this kid, we do have a flag in our class that you can pledge your allegiance to. And he looks around and goes, "Oh, that one?" and points to the pride flag. Now, the Newport and Mesa School District said the incident is under investigation, but didn't give a lot of details because it says it won't discuss employee-related matters, but it did release this statement. It says, "We are aware of the incident and are investigating. While we do not discuss employee-related matters, we can tell you showing respect and honor for our nation's flag is a value that we must instill in our students and an expectation of our employees. We take matters like this seriously and will be taking action to address it." Now, meanwhile, this video has obviously gone viral on social, and it's gotten a lot of backlash from it, including the former acting director of national intelligence, Rick Reynolds. And he wrote on Twitter, "What kind of parent would allow their child to be taught by this wacko? Why are parents turning their kids over to someone they don't know? I'd like to talk to people who think this is good." I have a tiny feeling we haven't heard the last of that story. All right, when we come back, according to Generation Z, that generation has a pretty strong stance, according to a new study, when it comes to COVID-19 policies going back to school. And the pandemic, has it got you thinking about a workcation? Not a staycation, not a vacation, a workcation. Now, if you're somebody who can pretty easily work from home, you're somebody who just needs a laptop and a phone to do your job, I guarantee you're going to want to listen up, because I'm going to tell you that the best places for a workation coming up, and TikTok is actually banned one of its viral challenges. I'll tell you which one. I bet you can guess, because it's been in the headlines recently, and it has to do with milk. How's that, Nick? I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, exactly.
All right, why is it slow in Riverside?
Because of the messy morning drive, Jen. Nothing in lanes, but going to be a slow-going drive for you on the westbound side of the 91. Coming away from La Sierra, heavy stretches of slowing for you to the 15, and then much busier for your drive further westbound on the 91 as you make your way through the Corona area from Main Street just past the 15 as you head toward the 241 toll road. Northbound side of the 15 starting to get in on the action as well as you come away from Temescal Canyon. Looks like that'll be busy for you as you make your way toward Dos Lagos to Wyrick. Heading westbound on the 60 in the Chino area, still getting some, still seeing some delays for you, rather, due to a two-car smash-up. 60 westbound, right around Central. It still looks like the carpool lane is taken away, and that's why it's heavy for you coming away from the 15. 10 west is an alternate to the 60 westbound. Going to be heavy for you right now out of Bloomington and Fontana for before Cedar as you make your way toward Ontario and Haven. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Poliokini.
Before I started Rooter Hero Plumbing, I was an angry young man. Hello, I'm John Acquain. I was angry because my dad died when I was 17 and he left me alone. I was angry because I couldn't go to college with my friends and because I had to drop out of high school. It's not a pleasant story. But as I grew older, I also grew up. I realized that my dad didn't leave me alone. He left me with values and principles that continue to shape my life. Dad said, be on time. He didn't like it when people were late. He taught me to be polite. It was something I lost, but recaptured along the way. And he taught me to keep my promises, because broken promises lead to broken relationships. We teach and keep these values at Rooter Hero Plumbing. I think we have a pretty good company. I know we have great people. And if one of our heroes fails to live up to these values, please call me. My private number is on the back of every Rooter Hero business card. You can also reach us at rooterhero.com. Thank you.
Everybody needs a hero. Rooter Hero.com.
CL 102 8886.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast. What's the deal? $1.99 breakfast croissants. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a sausage or bacon, egg and Swiss croissant for just $1.99. Fresh cracked eggs, oven-baked bacon, grilled sausage, all on a hot, buttery, flaky croissant. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings.
The Dodgers fell to make up ground in the NL West after getting blanked by the Rockies. LA dropped a rare home series to Colorado. The Chargers wrapped up their preseason slate with questions surrounding the team's backup quarterback. Final roster cuts must be made by tomorrow. And a YouTuber turned boxer took down a former UFC welterweight champion in the boxing ring. Jake Paul beat Tyron Woodley by a split decision. I'm Missy Jordan.
Download the DraftKings app and use code SPORTS to get a free shot at millions of dollars up for grabs this week with your first deposit.
Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Now through the 6th of September during the Rendezvous Air Pulse, listen to all the magic of a first rendezvous.
Welcome.
Hey, sexy.
It's time to book your rendezvous with Paris, Bordeaux, or Nice from Los Angeles with up to $100 discount. And with Air Pulse Protect, your tickets are 100% refundable and exchangeable up until the day you fly. See terms and conditions at airpulse.com.
At Ralph's, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care, because we treat your food the way we want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Ralph's, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Ralph's, fresh for everyone.
Business is built on connections. And with Square, you can connect every side of your business with tools that all work together. From your customers and your sales to your staff and your schedules, everything is in sync. So you can get a head start on shaping what's to come. See how Square can help connect every side of your business by visiting square.com/go/connect. That's square.com/go/connect.
Summertime tips from Paul, Kristen, and Dexter at Total Wine and More. Topping your burger with grilled onions and blue cheese? Take it to the next level with Carbon Cabernet Reserve, rated 92 points, an incredible value.
And nothing beats a buttery Chardonnay with grilled corn on the cob.
Feeling adventurous? Come on in. Let's try a smoky mezcal for mind-blowing margaritas.
Now you can order delivery for as low as $4.99 for a limited time. Find out if your area qualifies at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly, B21.
Rick Edelman, #1 New York Times best-selling author and founder of Edelman Financial Engines, takes questions on his radio show.
Hi, Rick. I have a pension and can take it as monthly income or a lump sum. Which do you think is better?
Well, the monthly check is only as safe as your employer's ability to pay it. And the amount will never rise, so inflation will erode its value. You have no access to the principal, and when you die, the money stops, even if you die tomorrow. So we usually recommend the lump sum. You get to invest the money however you want and generate your own income. You have full access anytime, and whatever's left over goes to your spouse or kids. But for some workers, the monthly option is better, so you should meet with a financial advisor to be sure that you're doing what's best for you.
That's Rick Edelman, founder of Edelman Financial Engines, with his advice on pensions. If you have a personal finance question, talk to an experienced financial planner at 888-PLAN-RICK or visit rickedelman.com.
Advanced Hair Restoration is now offering $250 off and 250 free hair grafts for the same simple one-day treatment I received. Their standard of care always exceeds CDC guidelines, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. Call 844-333-HAIR or go to advancedhair.com.
Win your way to our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 17th and 18th.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Coming live to iHeartRadio stations across America and streaming free on the CW app and CWTV.com. You'll see Billie Eilish, Cheap Trick, Coldplay, Dua Lipa, Phineas, Florida Georgia Line, J. Cole, Journey, Khalid, Lil Baby, Maroon 5, Nelly, Sam Hunt, Weezer, and more. Listen every weekday to win your way there.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Join KFI and Thrill Seekers at the Afterburner Music Festival at the Pacific Air Show in Huntington Beach, October 1st and 2nd. This year's event will feature performances by Sammy Hagar and the Circle, Sam Hunt, ex-ambassadors, and more. Get your tickets now at AfterburnerMusicFestival.com. KFI AM 640.
More stimulating.
AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Well, now let's talk your biz bites this morning. Brought to you by Equinox Home Financing. Let me get the right thing here. Brought to you by Equinox Home Financing. The answer for the self-employed. Go to equinoxhomefinancing.com. equinoxhomefinancing.com. The answer for the self-employed. I owe you one, Equinox. All right. Hurricane Ida hit the oil industry apparently really hard. So as of Sunday, more than 95% of the Gulf of Mexico's oil production facilities were shut down. Now, gas futures went way up, 2.75% last night to $2.33 a gallon nationwide. I know. I give you those numbers, and I just checked ours. California, it's $4.40 today. But the reason that I give you the average national number is it went up 5 cents a gallon from Friday to yesterday. Now, U.S. oil prices were only up 0.6 as of last night. And I'm looking this morning, and right now, oil, the futures are at $68.88 a barrel. They were at $69.30 a barrel last night. And we are right back to, we were at $68.74 on Friday. So I don't know if this just means that they're pretty confident that they're going to be able to get these production facilities back up online fast enough, if this hasn't played into the market yet. But we're going to keep an eye on that for you. But kind of right now, as of this morning, futures are flat. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that it stays that way. Gen Z students say that they overwhelmingly support very strict COVID-19 policies when they go back to school. So they took a poll of about 2,500 students, and 83% said college COVID-19 policies like masks and vaccine requirements are a major factor in them going back to school. The survey was conducted by Tallo, which is an online networking platform for kids that found 77% of students are worried about contracting COVID. 83% are concerned about spreading it to a family member. And a majority of these kids, like I said, are on board with the mask and vaccine. Ooh, I like that. I just made a new word. We're cutting down on words here. Vaccine mandate. The Tallo survey found 68% of students said they are likely to go to a college requiring COVID-19 vaccinations. 86% said they believe it's important for unvaccinated people to wear a mask in public spaces. And a smaller survey from a company called Timely.com had similar findings. Of the more than 1,000 college students Timely MD surveyed, 87% supported mask mandates. 85% were in favor of vaccine mandates. CVS apparently wants to not only give you the flu shot and be your doctor, but they want to be your therapist too. So the pharmacy is among several retailers, including Walmart and Walgreens, that are experimenting with offering counseling services in or near stores. They see the potential as COVID-19 has prompted more people to get help for addiction, depression, and other issues. And they said that they want to start stationing mental health providers, typically licensed clinical social workers, in certain locations. Usually it looks like this will just be in Texas and Florida for now. But the company said it saw a surprisingly high return rate for customers who had an initial consultation with these clinical social workers in Texas and Florida, and it's now expanding the program to 34 locations in those areas. And finally, actually two really fast. TikTok has banned the milk crate challenge. In a way, I think this is good because if you are a platform that is promoting stupid, it probably doesn't hurt to say, I'm sorry, stupid can go a little too far. Remember where people were stacking milk crates on top of each other, kind of in a pyramid, and then trying to climb them, and that it was apparently funny for people to watch person after person fall off? Well, now TikTok prohibits the content, and they say they are removing videos that glorify dangerous acts. We encourage everyone to exercise caution in their behavior, whether online or off. I'm sure there'll be some free speech, something that goes on about that. And finally, are you thinking about a workation? So the pandemic created kind of a phenomenon for people who could work from home, but they realized, I don't want to be at home. Maybe I want to work for the next month out of an RV at the beach or something like that. Or maybe they want to go bigger. Well, a workation can be anything from a long weekend to a month or more. And there's a UK-based vacation company that took a look at some of these like really good places where you could maybe get monthly rent on a one-bedroom, the cost of after-work drinks, to the average hours of sunshine that you get in these certain places. And they put together this list. Bangkok, Thailand tops this year's list. New Delhi, Lisbon, Barcelona, and coming in at number 5, Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Budapest, Hungary. Think they let me broadcast from any of those spots? I doubt it, too. This is KFI and KOSC HD2 Los Angeles. Let's get another look at your drive from Nick, who is checking out the 60 again.
As you make your way through the Chino area, some better news this go-round, Jen. Westbound side at Central. A couple of cars got into it, have the carpool lane shut down. That has been cleared to the right shoulder, although you're still seeing a messy drive heading westbound on the 60 as you get out of Ontario, leaving Haven. Continuing ahead into Diamond Bar now toward the 57. Also really affected your drive early morning on the westbound side of the 10 as you get out of the Bloomington and Fontana areas. From before Cedar, you'll see stretches of slowing into Ontario as you make your way toward Haven. Also on the eastbound side of the 10 around Cedar, getting reports of a stalled-out car up against the center divider. Checking your drive westbound side of the 91, Riverside through Corona, heavy stretches of slowing overall from Tyler now as you make your way past Green River. And checking out the drive for you as you make your way along the South LA stretch of the 110. On the northbound side of the 110 around Gage, getting reports of a wreck blocking lanes, but really heavy for you leaving Gage as you make your way through South LA toward about Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Nick Poliokini.
He raids your fridge. Yada brada. Borrows your car without asking. Scratches? What scratches? He's your brother-in-law. I'll pay you back. He takes what's yours, and there's nothing you can do. But when identity thieves want to take what's yours, you can do something. LifeLock by Norton monitors your info and alerts you to potential threats. If you become a victim, they can help fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com using promo code NEWS.
Income-eligible renters impacted by COVID-19 can now get 100% of their past due rent and utility bills paid through the California COVID-19 Rent Relief Program. Landlords with tenants who haven't paid rent because of COVID-19 are eligible for 100% reimbursement too. The application is fast, your information is private, and you won't be asked about citizenship. Apply at housingiskey.com before eviction protections end on September 30th. Brought to you by the California Department of Housing and Community Development.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny today, cooler than it has been. So we'll still see highs in the 70s at the beaches, 80s for Metro LA and OC, but we should just be around the mid-90s for the valleys and the IE. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Handle on the news with Wayne starts now.
Handle on the...
I'm gonna tell you what I really think I like about Mondays. Gonna feel like Saturdays. When you don't get to work, every day is a holiday. I wake up when I want to. I do anything I want to do. Can we check
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Good morning, it's the Bill Handel Show. The morning crew is here. Jennifer Jones-Lee. Woo! It feels like forever since I've seen you. But it hasn't been.
Do you follow me on social media? Could have stalked me online if you were missing me?
Oh, I didn't say I missed.
Oh, ow.
I said it feels like forever since I've seen you.
Hold on.
Man, you teed that up so beautifully.
I've missed you, Wayne.
I miss you too. Hi.
Hi.
I'm afraid to bring this up in case it's something very dark and upsetting, but you have on your shirt, it says never forget, and there's some graphics on it. What are we never to forget?
A floppy disk.
Oh, okay.
A VCR tape and a cassette tape. Never forget.
Yeah.
Good old days.
Stuff's all coming back anyway.
I know, it
you
is
know that,
cool
right?
now.
The hip thing now is cassettes again. Well, vinyl came back.
Yeah.
Now the hip thing is cassettes again.
What was your first cassette tape?
My first cassette tape was technically a Cheech and Chong album.
Oh, fantastic.
That my dad bought for me. He had taken me to get a haircut. We always went to the same place. And while I was waiting to get the haircut and getting the haircut, he went over to, and I don't remember if it was a Fedco or whatever, but there was a store not that far. And he came back with a Cheech and Chong cassette. And the barbers were like, may not want to give him that cassette. So he went back and exchanged it for, so this is really my first cassette.
Okay.
The Beatles Revolver. Which is about the coolest
I was going to say that was a great exchange.
Oh my God. And of course I put in the, and at that point I didn't know the Beatles. I mean, I was young.
Sure.
I didn't know the Beatles or anything. So think about Revolver.
Oh yeah.
You put in Revolver, what's the first track? Taxman.
Oh.
And I'm a kid who listened to, music on AM radio, whatever the pop hits of the day were. And so, first you get that funky countdown in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that riff kicks in, and my little brain exploded. It was the most amazing thing I had ever heard in my life at that point. So that's and then of course later when I got a little older, I'm like, what was this Cheech and Chong, all about? And the fact of the matter is, can we be honest, Cheech and Chong, not that bad.
No, but at the time,
they didn't curse a bunch. I mean, there's a lot of bad humor, but it's not like they weren't dirty, right? Cheech and Chong were not really dirty. But I don't know if their thing was maybe there was some bad language or just the general, hey, these guys are potheads. But good for them. I guess, I owe those barbers a big thank you.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure I would have cared about Cheech and Chong.
Yep.
Especially at that age. But man, oh man, that Revolver album. And then, of course, as you know, so first you get this blast of Taxman with the bass line and that angry, furious guitar solo in the middle of it that's like, the guy's crazy. And then you have like a ballad for no one. And then you have, kind of like R&B-ish, got to get, I mean, it was all over the map. Every time another song started, I was like, oh my God, what is this now?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, I'm glad I asked.
Long answer
That's
to
a
the
good
question.
story.
What was your first cassette?
Whitney Houston. My uncle, both my parents' backs went out on them when it was my great-grandmother's funeral. And my uncle said, I'll take Jenny with me. And I could tell Uncle Ken didn't have any kids at this point. And it was very much like, hey, what do I do with this little kid? And so we went to, I think it was Rite Aid, and we went to the store, and he walked me over to the cassette aisle and said, get anything you want. And I kind of looked, I didn't know, but I remembered I knew Whitney Houston, and she sang that cool song, How Will I Know?
It was that album?
It was that album.
Oh, see? Yeah.
And I remember it was orange, and from then on, I was like, Uncle Ken's the coolest.
That's a great song.
Yep. That was my first cassette.
Good morning to Tyler Whitman, first cassette. Or in your case, it probably would not have been a cassette at all. It probably would have been a CD, I would imagine.
Good morning to you. I'm actually reflecting, and I think my first CD, it wasn't a cassette. My first CD was a Will Smith CD.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
And I think it might have been, I don't remember if the CD was called this, but it was the Welcome to Miami track on that CD. And I remember there's actually a picture of me on a train with my little CD player and my over-the-head headphones, jamming to Will Smith at the time.
Not as vibrant a memory as yours and mine, Ken. Do you know what I mean? Like you had to kind of think about it and search your recollection.
It wasn't nearly as vibrant, no.
Alex Razzo, first for you, probably CD also.
It was Vanessa Carlton's Be Not Nobody, her first CD.
Wow.
Very nice. All right, there you go. We've done that. Do we dare have people get at us with their first LP, 8-track, cassette, CD, your first streamed song.
Yeah.
Or even I'll accept your first Napstered.
Oh my gosh.
Music.
Napster.
Before it was legitimate.
Yeah.
When it was pirates. Yar. Who wants to take these? You?
I'll take them.
All right, at JJLKFI on Twitter. Don't tag me, please. I don't like it. I don't like being tagged. I realize.
Oh.
I do not like being tagged and stuff because then you got to see all this stuff. All right, let us do this. Let's get a news update from Jennifer Jonesley. We will start in earnest with some serious news happening in the world. Handle on the news. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
And we'll start with Hurricane Ida, but I'll give you a preview. Hurricane Ida is now Tropical Storm Ida, and it's still very dangerous. The storm surge is now across southeastern Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Witnesses say on the ground say that 3 kids were among the civilians killed in the U.S. drone strike against terrorists in Afghanistan. And the Cajun Navy is helping to rescue people stranded by Hurricane Ida. A Cajun Navy captain says they expect it will be a pretty bad scene. We'll take a look at your drive with the KFI in the sky and check the 101 next.
Bill and Kathleen from American Vision Baths.
We've been installing new windows for over 20 years. Our customers have had such great experiences. We received lots of requests for other services, especially bathroom remodels.
So we decided to revolutionize the home improvement industry in a whole new way with American Vision Bath, while continuing to improve the lives of our employees.
My name is Dominic Bastinel. I'm the head of our bath division. The most rewarding part for me being at American Vision has been watching the bath department grow. It's just an incredible opportunity. I'm very grateful for it.
It's just so simple.
Happy employees, happy customers.
For a limited time, get 20% off a shower conversion or no payments or interest for 18 months. Visit AmericanVisionBaths.com or call 888-675-2885. 888-675-2885. 888